Hello, Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and let's talk about hiring people. Let's talk business. So recently, we put out a call for applications, and I did something I've never done before with this, and I emailed all of our customers. And I also put it out on social and some other places, and but a lot of the response that came from our customers, and it was very interesting. And the reason it was interesting is because of the quality of our customers. And I had no clue of how many people who buy from us have so many degrees, such good education, such great work experience, and are super overqualified, but applying for this because they want to be kind of in the ground floor of video games. And because that's what we do. And by the way, applications are closed. You can send us an app anytime, resume or whatnot, but for this right now, I've got more than enough. But I want to talk about some of the things that if you are looking for a job, of what you should be, some of the things that are good and some of them that are bad. And so one of the tricks that I used, if you're a business owner, is that I put very specific instructions in the information that I was putting out to really see how people would follow details. And most people got it, but some people didn't, and they were pretty easy to weed out because there was details in there about specifically how to submit their resume and what actions to take with it. And I got a lot of resumes in, and the people actually looked good, but and some of them had how they're rating themselves on how well they pay attention to detail, which was pretty high, except they didn't follow the instructions. And at least in our business, paying attention to detail is very important. And so it was kind of interesting because I was able to weed out several right off the bat by sending the resume to the wrong place, or not, we asked for a cover letter of why they wanted to work for us and everything, and some people just sent a resume. Some people just sent one line, oh, hey, I want to work for you, here's my resume, and stuff like that. And we didn't really get very far with any of those people because it wasn't the right fit. And so that was just a little trick that I used to weed some out. And if you are someone who's submitting a resume, you're learning some of the behind the scenes of what I believe is very important in a resume. And so maybe you can improve on in the future at places that you apply. The second is that I really got to give some people credit for their passion. And their passion being that they really want to work for us and everything. But when I get a resume that is, and I wish I could show you these examples, because some of them are funny, some of them are very creative, and some of them are brilliant. But of course I can't show you any of the personal information, so I'm just going to have to describe it to you. And so we had some come in that one of them was like 20 one-line sentences. They all started at different indents. The information on the sentences sometimes was two subjects in one sentence. The information was out of order, or at least I think it was. None of the work history had any dates on it. And it just said that they did this, they did this, they did this. They could have worked it for 2 days or 2 years. I couldn't tell. But it was so awful that I looked at it and I said, wow, I really want to help this person do better at stuff like this, but then again, I don't really have the time to do that. That's why I'm hiring somebody, you know? So we got several in that were just a complete mess. But there was others as well, which were very traditional resume or CV, had the information, laid it out all very nicely and stuff, and that was what we needed. And then there were some that caught our eye. And these were kind of special. These were some things that I had never seen before. And if you think about it, if you ever go to a class about how to write a CV or resume and how to apply for jobs and everything, some of the things that they will tell you is they want you to stand out, which of course, if you stand out, you get remembered. And it was one in particular that had something that I had never seen before, which was it broke down the information on one side of traditional resume, but then they had this other column that took up about 20%. And it listed skills and then had little dots after it, and it was all color-coded for how much experience they had in each one of the skills. And it allowed me to look at that little grid right there and within a matter of seconds know whether or not they had the talents and the skills that we were looking for. And they didn't. They weren't the right fit. But I want to say that that was very creative and was something that helped me assess almost instantly without looking at all of the other information and reading through it and sifting through it. Now, is that good or bad? I don't know, but it caught my attention. It instantly ruled them out because they didn't have what I was looking for, and I did read the other information. I do remember reading the other information, and I just, looking for the stuff that I still needed. But it didn't have it. So, but I just want to say that really caught my eye. Another thing that was really good, and I have kind of mixed feelings about this. Because if you ever watch like the show The Voice or whatnot, and it's a singing competition where the judges who are professionals in the music industry, very accomplished and everything, their seats are turned around and they cannot see the performer. And I thought it was really gimmicky at first, but I totally get it now, because when they hear somebody that they think is great, they push their button and they turn their chair around and they get surprised at who they see. And so they are making their judgments based upon the voice that they're hearing and the quality of it and the tone of it, the timbre of it, the beauty of it. And then when they turn around, they're surprised, and sometimes they say things like, oh my God, I thought I didn't realize you were white, or man, you are beautiful, or wow, that outfit is crazy, or, just other things that are these first impressions that people make when seeing someone. And several people included their profile picture on their resume. And here's why I have mixed feelings about that. It's because, one, I think it was great because it shows me that they're a real person. It allows me a little bit more of a connection with them. But at the same time, it's normal for people to make judgments on other people based on how they look. And it's that first impression. It's like when you go to an interview, you dress for success. You don't dress in your clothes that you wear every day. You dress really nice. You make sure your fingernails are clean. You wear shoes that don't show your toes. You make sure your hair is combed. You like mine? It's all done up pretty nicely today. You do all these things, all these little things. Make sure you don't have earwax. Just little stuff like that. And so that's a double-edged sword. And so people connect with other people based on how they look. That's kind of an initial impression of people. And so while I enjoyed seeing what they looked like, it also occurred to me that it could be used to discriminate. And so I have really mixed emotions about that. Because in our practices that we do, we don't care what race or gender you are. We care what, your abilities are. And we don't work, I do a lot of stuff on camera, but they don't need to be, they're not seen by the public or anything, and so it doesn't matter to me too much. But I suppose that if you were a model, and part of your pitch of why you should be hired is because you're beautiful or handsome, then maybe that would be very appropriate. But I also worry that people will see someone of a race that's not them, or of a gender that's different, or whatever, and instantly just make a conclusion based off that on their resume and move on, which is horrible. But I think humans do that a lot. And so, I think that including your picture on your resume, I'm 50-50 on it. It may work for you, it may work against you. Maybe in the job that you are applying for, if it is appropriate, then great. Like for us, we don't care what you look like. We just care that you can do the work, and people who work for us work from home, and we have people all over the country, or actually all over the world. And so to us, it doesn't matter, but to others it might. So maybe have two versions of your resume. One where you think that it'll give you an advantage, and one where you think that having your picture on there might give you a disadvantage. Although, maybe, and this idea just popped into my head, what if you show up for an interview and you are not what they are looking for? Because you can't hide who you really are. And you're showing up for this interview and you're not what they are looking for, then the interview just goes very quickly and they rush you right back out the door. Maybe it's a good way to filter out whether or not an employer will appreciate having you there. And I mean that very seriously. I do not want to work someplace where people have something against me, preconceived misconception of, who I am, that is a problem. Like, looking at me and thinking that, oh, that beard, he must be a criminal, or he must be in a biker gang. It's a club, not a gang. Yeah, I am in a great motorcycle club. But, people judge me and off of my looks. So, I don't know. I would be interested in your comments about successes and failures with having your picture on your resume. I would love to see your comments to see whether or not that helped you or you thought it hindered you. And I think that if the overwhelming information says that it helps you, then go for it. Get a great picture of yourself, a great selfie or whatever, and, use that, because that could be a good thing. So, but I'm on the fence on whether or not it really is. So I'm not out there looking for a job, applying, otherwise I'd try it myself. But anyway, all right, so enough rambling on about resumes. Hopefully you learned something, whether you're an employer or whether you are someone seeking a position someplace. And just one more thought. When you send in a resume or a CV someplace, always send a cover letter. I read all of the cover letters, and including the one that was really like 40 paragraphs long, You Know Who You Are, which was really incredible, but it was too much. And And so, and just, no spelling errors, proper grammar, be a little bit more formal. And even if the job is for something in the video game industry, don't think that it should be informal, because it shouldn't. Because it's your best foot forward, and you want to get that job. You want to give as good impression as possible, because you don't know what matters to the person reading your resume and your cover letter. Hopefully that helps. I look forward to your comments. I'm Marky Dragon. Take care.